Hello, welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Teddy Aspen, filling in for the ailing Mike Mandel, and man, good vibes and prayers going out to you. Hope you get better soon, partner.
He'll be back next week, we hope. Hey, you know, this time of year, they're calling it the monsoon season. They call it that every year. It came about a week and a half late. Usually it rains on the 4th of July around then.
Yes.
Came about a week and a half or so after that, but we certainly need the rains. They help charge the aquifer.
Yeah, and the nice thing about being delayed is usually it always rains out the electric light parade, and sometimes, you know, during the concert series during the 4th of July celebration. But this year was a very pleasant 4th celebration.
It was.
So thankful for the delay of the rain, but it's nice to have the rains here.
It's nice to have them. We didn't. Blue Oyster Cult did not get rained out, and but with the rains come mosquitoes.
Unfortunately, you got to go with the bad.
And so you have to make sure that your buckets, your wheelbarrows are emptied of any standing water, because it's mosquito season now, officially. And they bring with them malaria and West Nile virus and Zika virus. And the Zika virus is here. It's been identified in El Paso, in this area. So it's all here. Pregnant women need to be on the lookout for that for sure. Nice thing about the rain is you don't have to water your lawn or your crops during this time. I happen to have a garden. I grow my own food if I can help it, which helps me a lot. And my zucchini plant is putting out like you wouldn't believe.
Well, share, man. Share the wealth.
He's got a big one in there. I gave him the best hung zucchini I've got. Now, I noticed in the paper, reading that our jail director, I guess he's now the ex-jail director, Chris Barella, our sheriff tried to take over the jail last year from him because he thought he had authority to do it. He fired Barella. There was a big lawsuit. Barella sued the sheriff's office and won. Got reinstated as director of the jail. So that ruffled the feathers of the sheriff's office. So they set up a sting operation against him and started. I guess they knew he liked to smoke pot, so they started selling him. They got undercover officers to sell him pot for a few months until they got enough evidence on him. And so he's arrested for possession of marijuana. So I guess that means he's going to be out. I guess when you're the boss, you don't have to take the random drug tests like all the other employees have to do at the jail.
Well, it appears not. Otherwise, those supplements that you take to clear out your system obviously really work if you just get them through the drug testing.
Well, I guess they got him on a hidden camera or a hidden microphone or photograph or something, buying the pot from him and with witnesses selling it to him. It could be entrapment, but anyway, it was enough probably to get him to lose his job anyway. So I think they got what they wanted to get, and unless he finds a way to sue them and get out of it somehow. But anyway, one more crooked cop gets caught, basically. Now, speaking of out, in Arizona, John McCain's out. Looks like it. Brain tumor. I don't think he's going to bounce back from this. He had brain surgery. He may not come back as senator representing the great state of Arizona, our next door neighbor. So anyway, I hope he does okay. I kind of like John McCain, and he won't be able to vote. I don't think he'll be able to vote on the Health Care Act. They were waiting on him.
Yeah. They
were holding it for him until he got over this problem. At first, they thought it was just a little blood clot over his eye. Turned out he had a brain cancer. So they've operated on him. Who knows? Sometimes you don't bounce back from that. Another person who's out is the head of the Doña Ana Animal Shelter, Dr. Beth Vesco-Mock. She's resigned as of I think next month. She's taking a job elsewhere, where she'll not only be running the animal shelter, but also in charge of animal control for the county. She hasn't said where. Nobody knows yet where she's moving to. They're getting a good person. She's really been able to. She's been the one who's been able to cut down the number of animal executions at the animal shelter. They've cut it way back, and which is nice. We went down and got a cat, and a couple of years ago, and she'd been in there for 3 months waiting to be adopted. There was another one that had been in there for 6 months, I mean, to have a cat cooped up in a small cage, isn't a pleasant thing for that poor animal. They've got dogs down there. They've got ferrets. Someone even dropped off a pig. They've got, once in a while, a horse will show up. People just drop animals off at night, leave them at the front door.
Yeah.
They'll tie them up to the doorknob or something, or just have them in a cage.
I mean, that's somewhat responsible, because, I mean, the last dog that I adopted, someone had just dumped her off out in Mesilla. I actually know the person and don't think highly of this person at all. I mean, thank God he's left Las Cruces. But yeah, this was the second animal he'd done this to, and the very first time he did it, I was very angry because I would have taken the dog.
Yeah.
The second time, it was a puppy he abandoned, and it was just by sheer luck my girlfriend and her sister found it and brought it to me. And the only reason I knew it was the same dog is just because he had shown me videos of his puppy playing with his ferret.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do that to your dog, why get it in the first place? You have no business being a dog. A dog should be part of your family. Any pet's really part of your family.
Yes.
Yeah, my next door neighbor is a firefighter. He was up in the mountains, and they found a dog that somebody had abandoned. Turns out the dog's deaf, and it was a sweet dog, totally sweet dog. He can't hear anything, but he's taught us some sign language, some commands with sign. And but he's gone a lot, so his mother is also our other next door neighbor, his parents, and so they had the dog a lot, and so I petted over the fence quite a bit. There's no reason to abandon an animal. What is it? That's just cruelty.
No, it's impressive that they're showing dog sign language, which goes to show that animals have a lot more intellect than some of these people that claim to be owners that are just going to abandon them.
Well, remember Coco the gorilla learned a whole vocabulary of sign language, Yeah, they can do it. Dogs are much more sentient than people believe. So are cats. I saw a video of a cat rescuing a puppy. Puppy fell down a hillside and it was into some water and it was climbing back out. The cat went down, picked it up in her teeth, and took it up back to the top of the hill, thereby saving that poor little puppy. Yeah. So, treat your dogs and cats right, and they'll treat you right. Now, we talk about a lot of people who are out. O.J. Simpson gets out October 1st. He was sentenced to, ultimately something like 30 years in prison. He's served 9. It's kind of like the postman rang twice on him. Apparently, they really were punishing him for his first offense. They finally got around to getting him.
Well, I thought it was related to the robbery from
/kidnapping in Vegas.
Yeah, from when he was trying to get back the merchandise they're trying to sell that was his, that used to pay his civil fines that he got for the for the first was it Ron Goldman and I can't remember the first name, but Brown for the Brown killings.
Right, exactly. And but I think his heavy sentence was actually because of the first one, which they weren't able to get him on. So postman rang twice on him. I actually worked with O.J. Simpson once on a TV movie back in the 80s when I was working in Hollywood. A TV movie called Goldie and the Boxer. He played a prize fighter. And the movie had such a good reception that they did a sequel to it. And he appeared in a lot of movies.
Well, he was likable when he was on TV. I guess it's off the cameras when he was just not a very pleasant character at all.
One of my favorite films, he's in Capricorn 1. Yeah. It's great. Of course, those Police Squad movies.
Yeah.
And he was great in all those commercials he was in. But he just ran afoul of himself. So anyway, be on the lookout for O.J. Simpson after October 1st.
It's too bad we can't get that old Starburst jingle, the juice is loose, the juice is loose.
I remember a commercial that he was in where a dude goes, brutal juice? If we had only known. Now, the Doniana Arts Council, they've been forced to vacate the Rio Grande Theater. That was their home. They were the ones that got the Rio Grande Theater renovated into the gem that it now is. But the city has taken over the Rio Grande Theater, and so the Doniana Arts Council has had to find new digs, which they have. They're over in Mesilla now, and they're going to be having an open house to the new facility. It's large enough, it's got high ceilings where they could have arts affairs, dance affairs. It's kind of a nice multi-purpose scenario. They're having an open house at their new office coming up July 28th. Yeah, July 28th, an open house Friday night. July 28th from 5 to 7. And that is, you know where Paisano Restaurant is?
Yes, yes, I'm going to see it. It's
just turn left off of Highway 28. And so they're right next door to Paisano Cafe there. It's in that building, there used to be a kitchen store. And the Bulletin is over there too. Yeah, so they're in good company. Now, coming up, we have, I don't know if we have time before the break or not to start a new topic, but we do. So there's a big stand-up comedy night coming up.
Sunday, October 30th from 5 until 8 p.m.
5 till 8, at least 8.
Yes, at least 8.
You know, these things tend to go late sometimes.
And it possibly could in this one. This is taking place at the Moose Lodge in Las Cruces, Lodge number 2081, located 514 South Main Street. No, North Main Street. North Main Street. Just right across the street from the from City Hall, the very northern tip of the downtown mall.
By the Black Box Theater, just north of that. And the Moose Lodge has a kind of a back room they use for functions.
And they do, indeed.
And so that's a good place for it. I've been in there before for a comedy night some years back. And so that's a good place for it. Holds a lot of people. Is there going to be any music along with the comic?
A little pre-show music. I don't know. I've invited a few musicians, and they are were unable to, unfortunately, make it. They were out on the road at the time. The dilemma that I'm having, though, is that it's a calling. I'm actually hosting the show. It's a calling for, we're trying to raise some money for one of our comedy brethren, Sean Scarborough. He goes by the stand-up name of S3. Has suffered a series of heart attacks from the beginning of the year. He's got a clot that has been floating around his left ventricle, and at one point during this series of heart attacks, he had 3 heart attacks in a 2-week period. He's been in and out of the hospital. He's a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, so he's getting taken care of at the Beaumont Hospital. PA Hospital. But the dilemma is, he needs to apply for disability, and that's going to take some time. So for right now, he's having a hard time finding a job. Nobody wants to hire him since he's got that still has that problem with the heart attacks could occur at any given moment. So no one wants to take that hit on their medical insurance.
Right.
So we're trying to throw a fundraiser stand-up comedy night to help him raise some money just for his month-to-month bills.
And yeah, because they always you apply for disability, they always deny you.
Yes.
At least the first 2 times. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is a shame, especially when you deserve it. And so until he gets that together.
Yeah, it's a cheap price of $5 donation. We're also going to sell some raffle tickets. I got some great prizes, and I'm still working out on trying to get some more. I still have another week to go before.
And there'll be drinks,
before all
cocktails,
this is done.
beer.
There's beverages available for purchase.
Open bar.
$5 donation is all we're asking at the door. You can donate more if you like. It's always welcome. We got some raffle meals from the Napolito's restaurant. I've got some artwork from Blackened Art. One of the comics named Mondo Blanco also designs jewelry out of Organite. He's making donations there. We got tickets for the Las Cruces Community Theater, Black Box Theater, and still working on a whole lot more to give away. I think food from the Green Chili Patty Wagon as well. And I'm still trying to raise up some more for this raffle so we can really generate and bring in some funds. And right now, on the poster alone are 9 comics that are worth seeing that you would pay easily $20 to go see, just them by themselves. They're all participating. We got this local TV host named Mark Steffen who's going to be participating. I'll
be there up on stage trying to make you laugh.
Yeah, we got comics of different levels coming out that want to help out for the support, and the more the merrier, so come on out. I mean, $5 isn't a lot of money coming out for 9 laughs.
That's cheap. That's really cheap. Listen, we got to take a break. We can talk more about this when we come back. And I hope that you will join us after these words.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business. According to the secret war, banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get the secret war free. Call the number on your screen or visit online.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You could qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Get free delivery, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers at no charge to you. We also have other pain-relieving braces available for shoulder, ankle, and your back. Call the number on your screen right now to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
And we are back. This is Double Talk. Mark Steffen, along with Teddy Aspen.
Yes, glad to be here. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning here on Las Cruces Channel 98.
You know, Ted used to be the co-star, the co-host with me on this show for a couple of years.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, until you had to go back to school and you got all diplomated up.
Yeah, now I got a theater degree, which means I'm qualified to act like I can go out and get a job.
Yeah, so how do you like living at home?
It's great. Actually, well, my father passed away, so I inherited the home. So I have a house to live in.
And so we were talking about stand-up comedy. I wish there was more stand-up comedy here. There was like a brief period there just a year or two ago when it was all over the place for a while.
Yeah.
And up and down Solano, there was venues that had it, and then it just kind of disappeared.
Well, part of it is the comedy producers were kind of bringing back the same comics over and over and over again.
Yes, and people got tired of it.
Yeah, that, and plus, I don't know, Cruces audiences, what they do is they'll go out, they'll see something like, yeah, that's good, we should do it again sometime, then they never go back. So audiences always dwindle.
Yeah, Cruces is one of those crazy towns. Now, El Paso, of course, they have the comedy place down there.
Yeah, well, the comic strip. Oh, yeah, also they're donating some tickets, too, for the show next week. And also, there's a bunch of independent comedy producers that are producing various shows all over El Paso. You have the Underground Comedy, Hazardous Humor, Refried Comedy, and Laughter Hours, just to name a few.
That's good to know.
There is a show coming up also Wednesday night at the Lava Rock. Headliner out of LA, I can't remember his name, and that's only a $7 show as well.
The Lava Rock here in Las Cruces?
Yes.
And where is that?
It's on Solano, yeah.
It's a vape shop or a head shop?
It's a little bit of both. They do hookah and they sell, vape and hookah accessories. It is there. It's a neat looking room. Like I said, I've performed stand up there before. It's just they don't really draw too big of crowds, but
yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that there's a comedy energy going on in town, and I certainly would like to see more of it.
Absolutely.
So it's great that you are putting on this comedy show. Tell them again when it is.
It's tell you when what when it's Sunday, July 30th, from 5 till 8 p.m. at the Moose Lodge in the downtown mall.
5 to 8. Just come early. Come early. See the early comics. They might be funny too.
Yeah, come on out, enjoy some drinks. I mean, the Moose Lodge has some great beverages for cheap prices. I mean, they're not your typical bar prices. They're a little bit cheaper, being that they're a private club.
They're not going to raise the prices for the people in the comedy room, are they?
Well, I know they're not. They know I'm a comedian working in Las Cruces, so they know I have no money. So,
but so come on down. Like you said, there's going to be some food there. The food truck will be there probably, and who knows what else, and probably more than you've told us today because you haven't got it.
Yeah, I've actually lost count on how many comics are involved. I mean, there's when they found out that Sean was hurt and we're putting this together for him, they all jumped out of the woodwork to help out. I mean, there's some comics that I had lost contact with just due to personal indifferences, and whenever I reached out, they said, "Oh yeah, no, Sean is a great guy. Let's help out Sean Scarborough and then do a show for him." And
is he going to be there?
What's that?
Will he be there?
Oh, of course he'll be there.
Is he going to perform?
We're going to try to talk him into it. I don't know if after we give him all the money that we raised for him, yeah. Well, if he croaks on stage, drinks are on him.
So that's something we can look forward to.
But okay, all ages. I just want to say, all ages are welcome. But keep in mind that some of the comics do talk about.
Blue?
Yeah, they do talk about things that could make a sailor blush. So talking about entertainment for adults, what do we have for children now?
Well, what we do have is a children's matinee movie series at the Rio Grande Theater, and that is Saturday afternoon. and they're showing Happy Feet.
That's such a cute little movie.
Cute animated film from Disney or Pixar? I don't know. But so yeah, the children can come down, and the time of that is, I believe it's 12:30 in the afternoon. So right after the farmer's market, go there.
Drop off the kids, get some
Yes.
quiet, and pick them up.
And that night is Hard Road. Hard Road Trio is doing their performance there. Steve Smith and the group are performing there. It's probably going to be sold out if you don't have your tickets yet. So that will be tonight at the Rio Grande Theater. That's a benefit for KRWG TV and radio. And so that's actually, yeah, Happy Feet's at noon. Shows at noon. At the Rio Grande Theater today. So you've just got a few minutes to get on down there, take your kids, and go see a. I think it's $1 to get in to see the movie.
That's great value right there.
Absolutely. Also going on today is the Tequila, Taco, and Cerveza Fest
And is that for kids?
for adult kids, for the kids in all of us. It brings out the kid in all of us. That's at the Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum today. And so they're going to have a plethora of tequilas.
With the taco chaser.
With the taco chaser, and then little cerveza to wash it all down with. And that's at the Farm and Ranch Museum out there on East University. And so I guess there'll be all kinds of tacos available.
I'm sure some great entertainment. I mean, every time I've gone to a function out there at the Farm and Ranch Museum, they've always had, I don't know, some great band performing. So
Yep.
yeah, definitely worth checking out. I would recommend going out to the Tequila Taco and Cerveza Fest. And I've been to one. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I've been meaning to go back. Typical Las Cruces audience member that I am.
Yes, and as long as you're there, check out the museum, because there's a lot of cool things to see in that museum, especially if you're interested in things of a rural nature. They have all kinds of cool displays, and a great gift shop there too. And so Farm and Ranch Museum today, all day. Well, no, actually it's not all day. It is, I think it's from 5 to 8. 5 to 8. So take a designated driver with you, and it'll be tacos only for them. And but hey, tequila, tacos, and cerveza, you can't beat that.
Right.
Yeah. Now we have to mention the passing of a couple of people.
Yes. Legends in the field, so to
Yes,
speak.
famed film director George Romero passed away this week.
Famous for Night of the Living Dead, which is an icon at midnight movies.
Yeah, he did the Dead trilogy: Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
And he then remade those films again. They're kind of in other people's hands, but Night of the Living Dead originally had been called something else, and when they decided to change the title of it, they didn't copyright that new title, Night of the Living Dead. So he doesn't own the title. So he remade it back in I think 1990, and he kind of started the zombie.
He told me he was the father of the zombie craze.
It was. Yep, and so we have a picture of George that we will show you if our producer's paying attention. And he's on the phone right now.
He's trying to get tickets for the comedy show.
Right. I worked for George Romero.
Did you?
I did work for him. He was the executive producer of a TV series called Tales from the Dark Side. And I was an assistant film editor on that series. And I knew George. I'd met him several times. And I've got several of his soundtrack albums that he signed to me.
Oh, right on.
And
Really, you worked on Tales from the Dark Side?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I love that show, man. I never paid attention. Actually, back then when I was watching, I didn't pay attention to credits, so yeah.
It's got to go by pretty fast. But
yeah, no, I
you see
love
my name
those,
there
yeah.
I was on the second season.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great working on that. And that was a film that was actually shot on 16mm film. And so, working in the editing room, literally, every piece of footage went through my hands.
Oh, wow.
And so we cut it down into half-hour, segments. It was a lot of fun doing it. It was a low-budget series. And then it spun off its own series called Monsters.
Yeah, I remember that as well.
Yep. And the associate producer of Dark Side became the producer of Monsters. And then he wound up as producer of Monk, Tony Santacroce.
Yeah.
And also, we have to, we don't have a picture of George Romero. I don't know what happened to it. But We also have a picture, I know we do, of Martin Landau.
Yeah, this one was kind of. I thought he had passed away some time ago, but we've
That's
done this discussion.
That's
George Romero.
And Martin Landau passed away this week as well. He goes all the way back to, well, he was in North by Northwest, the Hitchcock film. And, of course,
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
And my personal favorite, and I know it's a show that you can only see now on like maybe Hulu or Netflix, but Space, 1999.
That's right.
Great sci-fi show. I mean, I love that show.
His wife, Barbara Bain, was on that too, wasn't she?
Yes.
As she was on Mission Impossible. And, of course, Landau won the Oscar for portraying Bela Lugosi in Ed Wood. He was brilliant in that. Just, it brings tears to your eyes to see how good he was. And what a wonderful actor. I love him in a Francis Coppola film called Tucker, The Man in His Dream. Mm-hmm. He's an investor that Tucker's trying to get him to invest in his new car called the Tucker. And he has a great line with Jeff Bridges where he says, "When I was young, my mother told me, don't get too close to people because you'll catch their germs. You'll catch their germs." And what she really said, he found out years later, she said, "You'll catch their dreams." And he says, "I've caught yours." And yeah, he was brilliant in that. And so they may be gone, but their films will live on forever. Now there's a blood drive on the 28th of this month, and in memory of Judy Price. She was a woman who battled a disease that finally took her life, and they named the blood drive in her honor. It's July 28th at the County Building on Motel Boulevard, and it's only from 8:30 until 12:30. And they like to get as many people down there to donate blood. They're going to set it up in the rotunda area of the County Building. So anybody who's able to donate blood, wants to get involved, it's actually good for you to donate a pint of blood. It stimulates your body into making more blood cells. And so that's going on. How much time do we have left? We're almost out of time. What else is going on? Is there any more comedy that you know of coming up? You mentioned you were at Ruidosa doing comedy.
Yeah, the Mountain Gods, and they call it the LOL night. It's in the Club 49. I was just there this past Wednesday. It's, bar plus all the food and slot machines as well, which makes it a whole lot of fun. It's a great trip. I mean, if you want to escape the heat, go on out there, enjoy on a Wednesday night, enjoy the comedy, and enjoy the the gambling, and
that's
of course
Wednesday?
A buffet every Wednesday. Yes.
They have a buffet.
Well, they have a buffet, ongoing there
right.
at the Mountain Gods.
Right. What's the charge for the comedy show?
I believe it was $7.
That's reasonable. And how many comics did you get to see?
There was 3 the night I was there. I was the opener, and I was there with Jerry El Makri Carnes, who is also going to be at the comedy show this Sunday, and another great headliner who I've known for years, but never got to see him until this past Wednesday, named Omar Tarango, who's a funny guy. I mean, he. One of the few people I know that work pretty much on the clean side. I mean, I'm not going to say he didn't drop an F-bomb here or there, but for the most part, he was a very clean comic, and he was a lot of fun to watch. It was a great time.
Look, I can tell that we're out of time now, and so we're going to have to wrap things up. Thanks, Teddy. I look forward to seeing you at the comedy night.
And I look forward to seeing you at the comedy night.
And I look forward to seeing you out there in TV Land next Saturday right here on Double Talk.